Capricorn, welcome to my channel. Welcome to your new reading. What's on your mind? Easy enough, isn't it? We'll find out what is occupying your mind right now. First and foremost, in your thoughts. Capricorn Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising. It is a general reading. It is timeless. Whenever this reading finds you, there will be a message here. Something that resonates. Take from it what you need when you need it. We are looking at these 6 tarot cards. We are also, after that, going to look at the 3 oracles here. So let's get them over here. You can see the colors. Breathe in the vibes. Perhaps you get some messages yourself from the images, from the colors, from the energies and the vibrations. Starting you off with the 8 of Pentacles, Capricorn. You see somebody here very dedicated to their work because they enjoy their work. It is work that is suited to them. They're very diligent, they pay attention to detail. They finish one project before they start the next project. And that's how they build up their reputation, their wealth, whatever it is that you're aiming for when you're doing this sort of work. If you are employed, Capricorn, your employer is a very lucky person, a very lucky company to have you there, being so conscientious and so dedicated. And if it's your own business, the same applies. Of course, if you're retired, it's all about living comfortable on the material plane, managing the finances and the abundance and the prosperity and the financial stability and the safety, so you can have a good life in retirement. 5 of Swords here. You've had the argument, you've made your point. The casualties are here in the back. You've left them reeling with your words, with your mental aggression. You wanted to be heard. You wanted to be the winner. You wanted to be the victor of this situation. It's a misunderstanding, miscommunication, argument, stress. So perhaps you're still dealing with that now, since it's in the middle of the 3 cards here. So you're dealing with the fallout. One seems quite injured, one seems quite downcast here. One of your, your opponents. Your opponents have lost, obviously. Now and then you have the Hierophant. This is your inner teacher, this is your inner guide. This is the one who looks after your book of wisdom and knowledge, which is an accumulation of your own life experiences, your own lessons that you've learned, but also you can refer to other people's lessons learned, experiences that you have noticed. You looked at their situations and you said, I'm not ever going to make the same mistake as them. So that is a kind of a passive experience that you've consigned to your wisdom and your knowledge. And So you're guided from within. You're carrying your own guiding light. You are your own counsel. Eight of Wands here. Changes are happening, things are happening, situations very, very fast, unexpected. You need to be on the ball here. You need to have self-control, you need to have patience, you need to stand in your power. Yeah, you need to stay on top of things. You need to be adaptable. You need to be using your talents and your skills, your capabilities. Use your focus and your tenacity to negotiate these fast developments that are happening, and you might be right in the throes of them now. You have the Nine of Swords. This could be giving you some sleepless nights. You're nearly at the end of the cycle. When the 10 comes, that is the end of the cycle. A burdensome cycle, a mentally burdensome cycle. Could have come from that situation here, that you've been involved with certain adversaries, and you've had the upper hand, but you're not totally happy with the outcome. You didn't expect to expend such force. You didn't expect to apply such a strong outcome. So you're dealing with the consequences of your actions. Fine. Four of Swords, healing. That's obviously what you need right now. You need to heal from the situation. You need to confront it. You need to look at it. Don't put it on the back burner, because it'll just fester and consume you unexpectedly, and it's not in your best interest to ignore the situation. Deal with it. Face whatever consequences there are, whether they be physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual, or financial even. Best thing is to deal with it. Let's see, the oracles are saying, your hard work's paying off. Now that refers to the card here. Hard work's paying off. We've been diligent. The results are coming in, resulting in material growth, abundance, prosperity, financial stability, and security in managing your resources. Yeah, this cold is hanging on. It has become a total nuisance. So the other oracle card, we'll leave that to the end, because that's your shadow work card. We have fears here. Fears, of course, is also part of shadow work. And you can see the darkness here, the shadows facing the inner fear. That is part of your shadow work. That is part of looking at the consequences of your actions. If that has led to inner fear, then you need to work hard here. Work on those insecurities, work on your darker side, your anxieties, your self-sabotage. Close the old wounds. Face the inner fears. Do not consign them to the back burner. So there's a numbness. Perhaps you feel guilty, but you know, to feel pain is to be alive and human. But yeah, pain is a constant companion in our lives, whether that's physical pain, emotional pain, mental pain, spiritual pain. It comes, it goes, we deal with it, we feel it, we let it go. We let it go to the divine, we're going with the flow. Temporary numbness here. Numbness of the mind, not necessarily the body. But you know, everything is connected, so you have a bad physical experience. This immediately affects your mental health. And if you have a bad spiritual experience, it immediately affects your physical health. It is so connected, you cannot cut the cords within. So, shadow work, shadow work, shadow work. Whether that's coming from this altercation, I don't know. It might not all come from the altercation. It might be something that you have already had been put off and put on the back burner and now have to deal with it because it turned into a constant obstacle, a block in your road. So you have to deal with the barriers, the derailments, the discomfort, get back into inner balance, harmony, stability. Stay organized and focus on finishing this round of shadow work. Okay. Well, Capricorn, it has been a pleasure reading for you. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Until then, take very good care.